Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Seahawks fans, buckle up because the NFL rumor mill is spinning fast this time. There's a buzz that could totally reshape the landscape of the NFC West, and it's centered around a potential blockbuster trade involving none other than Patrick Surtain II from the Denver Broncos. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, another trade rumor. But hold on, this one carries some serious weight, and all signs point towards a seismic shift in the division. And if it happens, it could set Seattle's course for another deep playoff run, maybe even chase that elusive Lombardi trophy once again. Let's start by breaking down what's happening. According to sources like Adam Schefter, the Broncos, their front office is pondering a major move. They're sitting at 4-10 on the season, and their defense has been anything but dominant, giving up an average of 32 points per game in 2025. It's clear they're looking to rebuild, and that involves making some tough decisions. One of those decisions could be trading Patrick Surtain II, who, no doubt, is one of the best cornerbacks in the league right now. Think about that for a second, trading a shutdown CB like Surtain. That's not a move made lightly. But for Denver, it's about getting the best value possible, and that includes 2 first-round picks from the Seahawks in exchange. Now, why would the Seahawks be interested? Well, if you've been following the team this season, you already know that Seattle's secondary has faced some challenges. Injuries have taken their toll, especially with Trey Brown dealing with knee issues and Woolen sometimes inconsistent. Opposing quarterbacks are throwing for over 260 yards per game against Seattle's defense, which isn't exactly what you want when you're eyeing a Super Bowl. Adding a player like Surtain, who's not only a shutdown corner but also a ball hawk, would instantly elevate the Seahawks' secondary from good to elite. Think about it, Surtain's 2025 stats are nothing short of spectacular. 7 interceptions, 17 pass defenses, a PFF grade of 92. 5, top among all cornerbacks. He's a true lockdown, capable of shadowing the opponent's best receiver, and his coverage metrics are elite, with a coverage EPA of -0.43, which shows how much he positively impacts his team's defensive efficiency. He's allowed just 48% completions, with a yards after catch allowed of only 30 yards. And even after missing a game in Week 10 due to a concussion, he's remained a force on the field with 60 tackles this season. For the Seahawks, bringing in Surtain isn't just about fixing a weakness, it's about transforming the entire secondary into a top-tier unit. Imagine pairing him with Woolen, who's had his ups and downs but still shows flashes of being a budding superstar. With Surtain in the fold, Seattle's defense could become one of the best in the league, especially in coverage. We're talking about a plus 25% increase in interception rate, which would mean more turnovers and more chances for the offense to score. His presence could cut down deep passing touchdowns by as much as 28%, making life much harder for opposing quarterbacks trying to connect on the big plays. When you analyze the impact, it's clear that Surtain would boost the Seahawks' defense significantly, especially in third-down situations and in critical moments. You might be wondering about the strategic fit. Well, Surtain's shutdown ability is exactly what the Seahawks need to neutralize top receivers like the Packers' WRs, who are currently averaging 250 yards per game. Having a true lockdown corner would allow Seattle to be more aggressive with blitzes, creating pressure on the quarterback and forcing turnovers. And that's where the potential Super Bowl odds come into play. Right now, the Seahawks sit at around +1,500 to win it all, but with Surtain, those odds could jump to +600, a huge leap that reflects his potential impact. Simulations suggest that Seattle's chances of winning increase by about 23% when using man coverage, thanks to Surtain's ability to shut down even the most talented receivers. From a tactical standpoint, this trade could be reminiscent of the Rams' aggressive moves in recent years, especially their trade for Jalen Ramsey, which significantly improved their secondary and helped them reach the Super Bowl. Just like Ramsey's addition, Surtain's arrival would elevate Seattle's defense to a new level, making them much more formidable against the league's best offenses. His ability to face Metcalf's rivals, for example, would free up other defenders to focus on different threats, creating a more balanced and aggressive defense overall. The Seahawks could become a top 6 unit in the league, significantly reducing the yardage allowed per game and making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. Now, let's talk about the implications for the NFC West. The Broncos, clearly, are prioritizing youth and draft picks, especially for their WR core, and they see Surtain's hefty $26 million cap hit as a bit too much for a rebuilding team. They're eyeing the future, and that includes gathering assets for a deeper rebuild. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, sitting at 8-6 and still fighting for playoff positioning, view Surtain as a game-changer, a piece that could tip the balance in their favor. His addition would not only improve their defense, but also send a message to the entire league that Seattle is serious about contending every year. Furthermore, the impact on the Seahawks, overall team chemistry and confidence could be profound. When you bring in a player of Surtain's caliber, it energizes the entire defense. It's a statement. Seattle is committed to winning now and not just building for the future. It's about creating a culture of excellence and forcing rivals to rethink how they attack the Seahawks' secondary. Opposing quarterbacks would have fewer options, knowing that Surtain is on the field, capable of shutting down their top targets. That could lead to more turnovers, more quick strikes, and a lot more confidence for Geno Smith and the offensive weapons. Looking ahead, if this trade happens, it could set off a chain reaction in the NFC West. The 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals would all have to respond, either by making their own moves or by adjusting their game plans against a now-elite Seahawks defense. It's a bold move, but one that could define the upcoming NFL season. The Seahawks have already shown they're willing to make aggressive moves when it counts, and adding Surtain could be the ultimate statement move, one that cements their status as serious contenders. The fans, of course, will have plenty to say about this. Many are already dreaming of what Surtain's lockdown skills could do for the Seahawks' playoff push. Imagine him shutting down the top receiver on the other team, forcing rushing situations, and creating turnovers that lead to points. That's the kind of game-changing talent that can elevate a team from good to great. And if the Seahawks pull this off, it's not just about adding a star. It's about changing the narrative, about showing everyone that Seattle is back in the hunt for the Lombardi, and that they're not afraid to make bold moves to reach the top. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and there are hurdles, contract negotiations, draft pick exchanges, and the inherent risks of trading away future assets. But everything points towards this being a real possibility, especially given the Broncos' current situation and their focus on rebuilding. If Seattle can swing this deal, it might be one of the most impactful trades in recent franchise history, and it would certainly energize the fan base. The idea of adding a player like Surtain to the secondary is tantalizing. It's like upgrading from a good defense to an elite one overnight. So, Seahawks fans, keep your eyes peeled because this story isn't over yet. The NFL is a league of surprises, and moves like these can change the entire playoff picture. The possibility of Surtain donning the Seahawks colors is starting to feel more real by the day, and if it happens, it could be the move that propels Seattle back into serious Super Bowl contention. Imagine a secondary anchored by Woolen and Surtain, a defense that's capable of shutting down almost anyone, and an offense that's already talented enough to capitalize on those turnovers. That's the kind of team that dreams are made of, and it's within reach if the stars align. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, folks, this potential trade involving Patrick Surtain is more than just a rumor, it's a game changer. If Seattle pulls it off, they'll be adding a true elite cornerback that could help them contend for a Super Bowl title and solidify their status as one of the top defenses in the league. The NFC West is about to get even more interesting, and Seahawks fans, you should be excited because the future might be brighter than ever. The vision of Surtain locking down receivers and elevating the entire defense is becoming clearer, and it's a sight that could make this season unforgettable. So stay tuned, keep the faith, and let's see how this story unfolds. When it does, you'll be the first to know right here, where Seahawks passion runs deep and the hunt for greatness never stops. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.